It started with her voicemail, one I wasn't supposed to hear. 3 seconds of breath, then a whisper. They know. After that, nothing. Just the static hum of distance, like the city itself had stopped breathing. Her apartment door was half open when I found it. The lights were off, except for the faint blue glow from the television, frozen on a news broadcast of a man smiling too confidently behind a podium. The smell of perfume mixed with burnt paper. On the counter, her ID card, edges charred. There was no body, no struggle, just silence, too clean to be real. And I knew, in that moment, she hadn't run away. Someone had erased her. I didn't call the police. I just sat in her chair, staring at the screen, replaying that whisper in my head. They know. I went back to her messages, her last 3 days. Texts deleted, folders wiped, except one unsent draft. If something happens, look at the numbers. She was a journalist, too curious for her own safety. She'd been working on a piece about campaign funding, donations routed through fake charities. I'd told her to stop. She laughed, said truth was worth the risk. I didn't know truth had a price tag. I started tracing her steps, the hotel lobby camera, the parking garage timestamp, the cab driver's recollection. Every detail was clean, too clean. The city doesn't hide crime this well unless someone pays for silence. And someone had paid a lot. Still, there was one mistake, a receipt. Coffee shop, 11:42 p.m. the night she disappeared. She wasn't alone. The signature on the bill? The same politician smiling on her TV. The days after blurred together. Sleep became optional. Guilt didn't. I started seeing her everywhere. Reflections, crowds, headlines. Her voice haunted the edges of my thoughts. They know. I told myself I was investigating, not obsessing. But obsession has a way of dressing itself as logic. Her notes were cryptic, numbers linked to election accounts, private dinners, anonymous donors. Every clue I found led to the same conclusion. She hadn't vanished because of what she knew. She vanished because of who she trusted. I remembered the night she introduced me to him, the politician. He shook my hand too firmly, looked through me instead of at me. Later she said, "He's not what he seems." Now I understood. This wasn't random. This was planned. And the closer I got to her truth, the more I realized I wasn't the only one being watched. The evidence came from nowhere. A small brown envelope slid under my door at dawn. No name, no mark. Inside, a USB drive and a single Polaroid. The photo showed her, sitting in a car, eyes open, hands tied. The date stamp? The night she disappeared. On the drive, a folder of surveillance clips. She'd recorded their meetings. Her voice, calm, defiant, "If this goes public, you all burn." And then his reply, the same voice from the campaign ads. "Then we make sure you disappear quietly." My hands went cold, not from shock, from confirmation. The man she trusted to publish her story had turned her in. It wasn't just power, it was preservation. I didn't cry, I didn't break. I just stared at her frozen image and realized, truth doesn't die. It just waits for someone willing to bleed for it. I didn't confront him in person. That would have been mercy. Instead, I made sure her story spoke louder than either of us ever could. I uploaded every recording, every photo, every document to every newsroom that still had a spine. No caption, no signature, just a headline waiting to explode. By morning, his empire began to collapse. Sponsors withdrew. Investigations opened. The same reporters who once feared him now fed on his downfall. He called me, once. No threats, no denial. Just silence, then a single sentence, "You don't understand what you've started." I did. I'd started the end. Justice doesn't shout. It waits, then strikes, quietly, precisely, without warning. When it was over, I didn't feel relief. The city moved on. New scandals, new faces, same rot beneath the surface. They never found her body, but her name resurfaced, on screens, in protests, in whispers. She became a symbol of truth. I became a shadow behind it. Some nights I still hear her voice, soft, distant, half a breath away. They know. I whisper back, now they all do. Then I walk away from the screen, from the noise, from everything that still pretends to be pure. Justice was never about mercy. It was about memory. And I remember everything.